Margaret Thatcher's favorite, free market think tank, has called on the government to legalise cannabis, arguing that the move could generate more than £1 billion in extra tax revenues every year, as well as savings in health and other public services. Britain's black market in cannabis is worth £2.6 billion annually, with 255 tonnes sold to more than 3 million people last year, according to the Institute of Economic Affairs (IEA). A report by the think tank concludes that the criminalisation of cannabis in the UK has failed, saying the black market is awash with dangerous high-strength products. Chris Snowdon, head of lifestyle economics at the IEA, said, "It's high time for reform of cannabis policy in the UK. Canada and the USA are showing the way." Done properly, the legalization of cannabis is a win-win-win. Criminals lose a lucrative industry, consumers get a better, safer and cheaper product, and the burden on the general taxpayer is reduced. Public resources devoted to seizing cannabis, prosecutions and treating health problems caused by high-strength skunk place a significant burden on the justice and health systems, while teenagers find it easier to buy cannabis than alcohol. The IEA report says, the dominance of hazardous, high-strength, skunk cannabis in the black market should be a key reason for legalization. Licensed sales would allow safer, regulated cannabis to displace the more dangerous strains and generate tax revenue that could be spent on mental health services. The Home Secretary, Sajid Javid, recently launched a review into medicinal uses of cannabis, following public pressure from the families of 2 children who have forms of intractable epilepsy that appear to be eased by the use of cannabis oil. The IEA report recommends that, for legal cannabis products, regulators set maximum limits on tetrahydrocannabinol (THC), the psychoactive substance that makes people high, and minimum limits on the non-psychoactive cannabidiol (CBD). It estimates that there are just over 3 million cannabis users in the UK, consuming an average of 82.5 grams a year. The average cost of a gram of cannabis is currently £10, valuing the UK market at £2.55 billion annually. If cannabis were legalised, the IEA proposes that it should rank somewhere between alcohol and tobacco in terms of how strictly it is regulated. The think tank suggests a regulatory regime in which sales are restricted to those over 18. Cannabis would be sold in specialist licensed premises and a license would be required for growing and importing. Assuming a pre-tax retail price of £4 per gram, legalization could cause demand to rise from 255 tonnes to at least 321 tonnes a year. The IEA believes that would be acceptable because of the limit on THC. A commercialized market capping THC levels at 15% would virtually eradicate the black market, according to the IEA. If licensed cannabis made up 95% of the market and it were taxed at 20%, that plus a 30% excise tax, that would produce annual tax revenues of £690 million. Sign up to the Daily Business Today email or follow Guardian Business on Twitter and at Business Desk. Legalization would also create new jobs and businesses, generating extra tax, while savings to the NHS and other public services would amount to at least £300 million a year, the report says. The IEA stresses that tax rates should not be set so high that an illicit trade remains viable. The U.S. states of Colorado, Washington and California, which have legalized cannabis, have all seen black markets flourish because of high prices caused by excessive taxation.